Fellas, in today's video we are going to cover the top 10 heroes for Season 2 in Marvel Rivals. Some I'm sure you'll already know as you see them a lot, and some of them might be a little bit surprising. But starting off with number 10, that has to be Rocket Raccoon. Rocket Raccoon had a nice change to the healing with the Season 2 launch, I believe it was, as well as a change to his ultimate. So while it does do a little bit less damage buff, what happens now is you do get healing, and his actual healing output himself is disgustingly good, especially if you bounce your shots. On top of that, I've been seeing more rockets as of late being played almost like a dive character, where they dive your backlines, shoot up your supports, as well as heal their own team. He's very, very disgusting up close. He can melt like no one's business. If you've only played Rocket as a heal bot, that's a you issue. There's so many better ways to play him. And then on top of it all, he can stall a point like no one's business. He went from what I think was considered one of the worst supports in the game to, if you play him right, one of the best. He has a team up with Punisher for infinite ammo. That's really good. Punisher's great. Bucky was removed from it, but Bucky kinda took a hit this season, and he's not as popular as he once was. Doesn't mean he's bad, just not as popular. At lucky number 9, we got Magic. Magic, my all-time fave at the moment. They're a very strong pick, but unfortunately they do require a bit of skill to play her, and they were really a big pain to learn. But you can play her in so many different ways, whether it's up front, diver, flanker. You can even attack people in the air. Her ultimate, super strong, disgusting, can kill support ultimates. Very strong combos to the point where you can kill squishies with just one simple combo, then you get out. She's a great pick, good for shredding backlines. Her team up is with Black Panther, and while he can be good, the amount of players that aren't good with Black Panther, I think takes him down just a tiny bit, in my own opinion. But she does have some moves that make her invincible with her Limbo Disc. They're a menace. The more damage you deal, the more overshield that you get yourself. A very strong pick that can handle just about anything and can be in just about any position you need them to be. Next up, we have Penny Parker. I feel it's safe to say I don't know anyone that likes Penny Parker. Everyone I know hates Penny Parker. But that doesn't mean that they're a bad character. Penny Parker is ridiculously good. The way I've been seeing her be played lately is on offensive. So on a convoy map, for example, they're shooting their mines up into the enemy backline to deal damage and get picks, not just slowly moving up with the convoy itself. On defense, she is incredible, almost impossible to kill. For some reason, not a lot of people shoot her nest, which is surprising at this point. Then again, I've been seeing a lot of people skip over the Moon Knight onks, so what can you do? She got a buff that allows her basic attack to now crit. She moves a little bit faster when firing. If she triple stacks her webs, which is a situational thing to do, she's almost impossible to kill. Between a perfect defense and a very strong offense, Penny Parker is a really good pick. The only thing that I think would make her better at this point in time is if she was an anchor. Unfortunately, they're not though. But I'm very interested to see how Penny Parker gets played in the coming season. One of the things that really sets her back a bit is her ultimate, which you hear it go off and they run around, but I don't think I've ever actually seen anyone get a kill with it. Speaking of tanks that are hard to kill, we have Captain America. Now he did get a nerf recently to his health, I believe. But even with that, he is a scum character. He dives the backlines, not necessarily to get kills, although he does get them, but mostly to cause disruption. That doesn't sound so bad, especially if you ignore it, but he puts on constant pressure that's very hard to ignore. On top of it, similar to Rocket, he can stall out a point for a very long time, especially if he gets his ultimate, which gives him some bonus overshield and provides healing to teammates. While not the strongest, he does have a lot of utility on both offense and defense, especially with how he plays as a tank. Unfortunately, if he is a solo tank, that means there's not really going to be a front line, but he'll be causing enough disruption that it really is okay depending on how the game goes. He's a real pain to kill. He can get in, get out, jump around. Really, really hard to kill. A great pick. Coming up next, we have Mr. Fantastic, which is a surprise pick, I think, this season. Mr. Fantastic, when he first came out, of course everyone played him. He's a little bit of a pain to fight. until people realized how to actually fight him decently, and then we saw next to none of him. And now this season he is back with a vengeance. People have learned to play him proper. He's very tough to kill. He gets in a ton of kills as well, does a ton of damage. And between his forms of the regular DPS and the tank, he is a good pick for any team. Plus now his ultimate is somewhat viable. He's a disgusting character to fight, very hard to deal with. And then he has to team up with Invisible Woman, who is a fairly common pick as they're a great support. That gives him just a little bit of overshield to keep him going even longer. I don't know what else you'd want from a hero, but he has everything that you need. And that's why Mr. Featuring Needs Fantastic is lucky number 5. And then up next we have Mantis. I'm just joking with that. Mantis is a good pick, I'm not gonna lie. She got some good overhaul this season, but Loki is still the better pick. He has massive healing, massive damage. He can copy any ultimate in the game and play as that character for about 15 or so seconds. So whether you need a support ultimate or a damaging one or something to stall out the game, he is a great pick. And then on top of all that, he has his runes. His runes are basically a mini Luna ult. You get them every 30 or so seconds, and it pretty much heals anyone that hops into them on your team. Plus, I don't think a lot of people talk about it. They can stop some ultimates. Iron Man had to stop. Thor, not so lucky, but I think I just got unlucky with it. It can stop Wanda ults as well. They are very, very broken. I don't know why they haven't really been touched or nerfed much, anything like that. If you need someone to take you places, Loki is the guy for that. Is there a better support at the moment? Maybe. He does suffer a little bit because he is limited to who is playing in the match. He's very strong, heals greatly, has the ability to get away and self-heal. I literally don't know what else you would need from a support at the moment. And then next up we have Psylocke. How has Psylocke gone on so long without any real changes to her? I have no idea. But Psylocke this season has been a real force to reckon with, especially with her team up with Emma, who is a very common pick at the moment as well. It's a very strong team up giving you 2 Psylocks. One is already a pain to deal with, but having 2 of them is disgusting. She has the ability to sneak away if she does need, and she's great for getting picks. She can deal with flyers, she flanks. Her ultimate is not the greatest, depending on the time of the use, but typically it will call out a enemy support ultimate, which honestly at the end of the day is a fair trade. Psylocke, I think at the moment, is one of the strongest DPS in the game. She does not need any team ups to get the best of her, and if you come across anyone who's decent as Psylocke, you're going to be in for a bad time if they're on the enemy team. Now with 3 more left to go, I'm sure you're getting tired of the DPS, but the DPS this season is extraordinarily stacked, which takes us to Iron Fist. Now, I'm not sure if you really need a rundown on Iron Fist, but he is one of the most broken characters in the game at the moment. Between incredible self-healing, ability to deflect and not take damage, as well as the ability to pretty much melt the tanks, as well as just about anyone he comes across. And if you happen to try to run away when you're on low health, he has a move that brings him in super close and deals more damage the less health you have. That's messed up. If you're tired of this cheaper Town Hall, best I can recommend, play Jeff. I think the worst part about facing someone who's a decent Iron Fist is you never know where they're going to come from. Are they flanking around? Are they going to try to dive? Are they 30 feet up in the air? You have no idea. He is just there, and then when you really get a good grasp on him, he's gone. It may feel like he does very weak damage if you only fight him for like a second or 2, but in a fight that lasts more than 3 seconds, the odds of you finishing off the Iron Fist is very low. There's a reason why he is banned and picked so often. Now this is the last DPS we're doing, that is the Human Torch. Human Torch, similar to Mr. Fantastic last season, he was a hot pick for the first 2 weeks that he came out, but there wasn't enough people who knew how to play him properly, and then next to no one played him. I don't know what happened between that time and the last couple weeks, but suddenly everyone and their mama is great at Human Torch, and he's a real pain in the ass to deal with. You know, he plays up high, he deals tons of damage, he controls the field, but for some reason, no one tends to shoot at him, which is crazy. And then if he focuses in on you, he can hit you a couple times with his shotgun blast and then dive you. And that will kill most of the squishies in the game. He has a really good ultimate and a broken ultimate with Storm. Granted, those two have to use their two ultimates together, but that can kill 3 support ultimates and there's nothing more that you really need at that point. He's a very strong pick. Also has a team up with Invisible Woman, giving him bonus overshield, keeps him going for even longer. One of the cons is that you might not get healed as much as you want because you are playing up in the air, but if you have someone who is a remotely decent healer, the Human Torch is going to be the bane of your existence if you're playing against him. And then lastly, we have the Hulk. And I'm sure there might be a bunch of people that do flack for this, but it's my list. Hulk at the moment has a good team up with Iron Man, which Iron Man doesn't need. When Iron Man uses the Gamma Overdrive, that shreds whoever he's facing. Iron Man's already disgusting, but having that bonus is just way too OP. And then he has his team up with Namor. Namor is already a great pick for his anti-dive capabilities, but the Gamma Squid, especially if your team doesn't shoot them or he places them up high that may not be in the best line of view for the rest of your team, the Gamma Squid is one of the most broken things in the game. And now that is 2 team ups that are already incredible for 2 very strong characters, but on top of that, Hulk himself is very strong. He has great mobility. One of the recent patches really buffed him up. He has a shield that he can give to himself and the team for survivability, and that gives him bonus ultimate charge. He's somewhat strong, but he can get in, dive, do a ton of damage, and then get out before your team can really recover from that. His ultimate is a little bit choppy, but you're able to juggle characters, and between his basic attack and clap attack, that is going to get you a kill on a squishy 9 times out of 10. There's a reason why Hulk has been banned so much, and that's primarily because of his team ups, but that doesn't mean Hulk himself is a weak character. He is a very strong character with very strong team ups, and that's why I think he is the best pick at the moment. He does get banned decently well, but I don't think it's because he is the Hulk. It's mostly because of that Gamma team up with Namor, and as well as Iron Man. I think in a future season they may nerf him a bit, maybe switch up how his team up works, but until that happens, he's still going to be a very strong, very disgusting character that you can't do too much about besides hope that you manage to take him down. And that's a wrap on this top 10 Marvel Rivals video. Tell me, you think I got anything wrong? Let me know in the comments below. And hey, hit that like button if you're still watching, subscribe for more videos like this if you haven't already, and stay tuned for the next one. If YouTube thinks you like this video next, let me know if you do.